documentary The Devil Made Me Do It is a mixed documentary because it contains things such as observations, interviews, archive footage and narrations. There are a few key themes in this documentary, the main ones being the influence of the media. The media shapes topics and how they would like to be perceived, and in this case show Marilyn Manson to be a negative focus for young people. Other themes include youth, crime and religion versus devil worship. In other words, the good versus evil, named binary opposition. The narrative structure is open because you never know if Marilyn Manson was the real reason for the murders. It is also single-stranded as the documentary focuses on one main story. The events are portrayed as a non-linear narrative. The camera work in this documentary often follow the conventional setup. For example, the interviews were set up in the line of real thirds, and the interviewee was speaking off camera, not being direct addressed. Remakers. Manson was also shown in a lot of low-angle shots, giving him power and showing him in a negative light. There is also a lot of observational footage of Manson's concerts, which illustrates what has been said. In this, they used a lot of long shots of the crowd. Finally, there was a few establishing shots which were used to set the scene and give the audience context. Moving on to the mise-en-scène of the documentary, the lighting of the interviews seemed to have interesting lighting. Half of Manson's face was in total darkness, which could indicate that there is two sides to him. However, the background of the interview was in a cloakroom, suggesting to the audience that Manson is a normal person. It was also important that the people being interviewed are relevant, in which the documentary used experts from a particular field. The sound in this documentary is also very interesting. There was the use of narration to help the audience understand context and highlight the exposition. The narrator's voice was conventional, him being male, young, English and having no particular accent. Narration was also used in interviews as a translator, meaning interviewees' voices were lowered. Marilyn Manson's voice was also used, diegetic and non-diegetic, in contrast with holy music like choir and classical. Montages were used at the beginning of the clip to introduce the exposition and engage the audience, with reconstructional footage being faster paced. Also, there was a lot of cutaways, helping the editing of interviews and provide visual evidence, making it more interesting for the audience. Archive material including music videos, police interviews, chat shows with existing footage and archive images. Finally, the graphics of The Devil Made Me Do It are used for titles, names and lyrics. Also, the title image at the beginning was stylized as Gothic to relate to the documentary.